Well, good afternoon. Today is July 25th, 2025. This is July 21st. I know it sounded like 25th, because that's what I said. We'll just cut that out. Hey, good evening. Today is July 21st, 2025. You're in the Rowan County Commission meeting. We are glad that you're here with us tonight. We hope that you find your time with us profitable. We begin our meetings every week the same way, every 2 weeks the same way. We're going to have what's called a solemnizing prayer. Now, I'll define that for you. It's not for you, it's for the commissioners. Honestly, we find great value in this. We have decisions to make on behalf of the county, and you have elected 5 folks that even with our collective knowledge, sometimes, well, frankly, all the time, we'd rather have wisdom than knowledge. And so we're going to ask our chaplain if he'll come forward. And one thing we ask him to do for us every week, because this is our prayer, we ask that he pray for wisdom as we make decisions on behalf of the commissioners. Following that, we'll have a Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioners, if you'll join me, we'll get started.
Commissioners, thanks for the privilege to pray for you. Let's pray. Father, we're thankful for this day. We're thankful for our county commissioners, dear Lord. We know, Lord, that most people don't realize the work they put in before they have these meetings and all during the year, dear Lord. Pray you give them the wisdom they need. You encourage them, strengthen them, dear Lord, and help them tonight in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Chaplain Taylor, for being with us. As always, we appreciate you. We have one item that I know that we're going to add to the agenda, request for discretionary funding. And that'll go in as a consent item L. But I don't have any other changes that I know of. Commissioners, does anyone have anything else they'd like to change, add, delete? All right, hearing none.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on the consent agenda that you just added,
Yes.
I'm not going to vote for that.
All right, then we'll put it on the regular agenda as item, let's see, G.
Okay?
Item G. All right, thank you. Any other additions or deletions? All right, if not, then do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
And a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, then we have a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
And a second? Second. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We have anyone for public comment? Nope. All right, we'll move on. Item A under our active agenda. Mr. Powers, good to have you here tonight. We're going to talk about the ADW Master Plan. Welcome, glad you're here.
Good afternoon. So just to give a little background of what we're asking for tonight, Rowan County is contracted with ADW Architects to master plan the relocating of several county departments. These are departments primarily at the 402 building, tax assessment, tax collections, building inspections, planning, and the register of deeds. Environmental health is already in the plans to move to the new health department. The city of Salisbury has shown some interest in potentially moving also to the JCPenney's area to try to build a one-stop shop for the county. They primarily do a lot of permitting, for mainly water and sewer throughout the county, also with all their development inside city limits. And so how this would work, we would ask ADW to create a task order to include the city of Salisbury's land management department for the study. The city would obviously have to approve this task, and then we would work on an MOU with Mr. Dees and their county attorney to kind of set this up about who would pay for what. That would include, construction, what there's some rental rates that we would want to charge. All that could be worked out at a later date. Benefits would include a single site developers and contractors could try to come to and get all their questions answered. And so we're asking the board, would they support including the city of Salisbury's land management department as part of the master planning for the former J.C. Penney's department store at the Rowan Community Center?
And let me just state that approving this does not mean that Salisbury's land management department will be at the Rowan Community Center. It's just simply to allow staff to ask ADW to do an exploratory preliminary design that Salisbury would pay us back. There would, in order for this actually to happen, you would have designs, drawings, they would have to agree, the commissioners would have to agree. You'd probably have to approve it 10 times, and I'm exaggerating, but this is,
estimate.
Yeah, this is simply just to see if the commissioners are interested in doing a preliminary design to see, there may not even be enough space there. We don't know yet, but we didn't want to do this without the commissioners saying that they were interested in us looking into it.
Mr. Powers, is it possible that we can get ADW to give us more than just one floor plan to look at? I was very disappointed with what we did out at the Rowan Community Center. We saw one thing and that was it. There wasn't any alternatives. There wasn't any other options. And if we're going to move county departments out to the West End Plaza, I want to have more than just one thing to look at. Is it possible we can ask them to give us some alternatives?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Well, if you paid attention to permitting, inspections, planning, development over the past decades, this is big. I've talked to the mayor for a long time about them pouring in with the county to create a true one-stop shop.
Right.
They're downtown, we're downtown. Parking is difficult, especially for them. But with the space we have out at the plaza, the community center, folks can pull in with their dually pickups, hauling a 60,000-pound backhoe, and go to one place, and hopefully, I really don't mean this in a negative way, but the county has done a lot to get our development process in place, and this may be good for the city to be in there with us, and they've been looking to improve. They'll tell you that. So this could be good for everybody, mostly the development community. This should be a great signal to them. So I hope it works out. Like the manager said, doesn't mean it's a done deal, but to be at this point, I remember being on the chamber board 2 decades ago, and we were mediating, the chamber was mediating between the development community and the county and city, because we just weren't very good at it. And so the fact that we're at this point now is a real testament to county folks and the manager coming together with the city manager and agreeing to look at this. So I'm really hopeful they can pull this off. This would be great for everybody. Any other comments?
Need a motion?
Yes, please.
Make a motion to approve ADW working on the master plan.
Second.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Craig. All right, Miss Pam, welcome again. Good to see you back. How have you been?
I've been fine. How have you
Great.
been?
Good to see you. Yes, ma'am.
So I'm here tonight to talk about a road naming petition. This was presented by the Evans family. They already have 2 home sites off of the same driveway, and they're proposing a third, which would require it to be named. So they did turn in a petition. The names were gone over and finally approved by Emergency Services. The name that was approved is Pasture Place. I sent everything out like normal. I did receive 1 phone call. The gentleman that owns the property in between the Evans and 801, I believe, is down a little further. He's the one that supplied the easement for them to get to their property. He just called, but basically it was just an inquiry. He had some ideas that it would become a state road if it was named, and a lot of things that I dispelled for him, and he was okay with it after we got off the phone. And that was all I had. We just need to do a public hearing for it.
Well, thank you. Well, we won't delay that. We'll open the floor to a public hearing. If there's anyone that has something they'd like to say about this road naming, Pasture Place, this would be a great time to do that. All right, seeing none, close the public hearing. Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve the naming of this road, Pasture Place?
So moved.
We got a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, well, thank you. Aaron. Thank you, Pamela. Welcome, Aaron.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's that time of year again for permit to exceed 0525 for the 11th Annual Dragon Boat Festival. This is out there at the Shrine Club off of Long Ferry Road. They're planning to do it this coming Saturday, the 26th, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So with the permit to exceed, there are 10 criteria to look at. So I'll briefly go through those. Number 1 is the timeliness of the application. We received this application on June 9th, which was well in advance of today's meeting. The nature of the requested activity, it's a lakeside festival with boat races, games, and food vendors. Number 3 is previous experience with the applicant. This is the 11th annual Dragon Boat Festival, and we hadn't had any issues with it. The time of the event, it's this Saturday, the July 26th, from 9 to 5. Other activities in the vicinity, there are none to our knowledge. The frequency of the event, this is an annual event. Cultural social benefits of the event, they're expecting about 500 people out there to raise money for the Chamber of Commerce's small business programs. The effect on adjacent property. There was a map included with your packet that just showed there's a handful of houses in the general area. The previous violations of the applicant, we don't have any. And then the last one is that notification was sent at least 72 hours in advance, and signs were posted on site and mailed notice to all adjoining property owners 12 days ago on July 9th. So with that, they do meet all those criteria. If y'all have any other questions, both me and some people from the chamber are here for any answers.
All right, we do have Sydney Murphy from the chamber and the Right Reverend Daniel Mantangira is here as well from the chamber. He is, I think, the chair of this event and just an all-around good guy. We're glad you're here. Commissioners, any questions for these folks?
No, we've done this so many times before, rubber stamp it.
Yeah. All right, we'll open the floor for a public hearing if anyone would like to speak. You don't want to speak.
Good afternoon. My name is Daniel Matangira, and I'm the current chairman of the Dragon Boat Festival for 2025. I've done this now for the last 5 years, and Elaine would have wanted to come, but unfortunately she couldn't because she is in Philadelphia competing for the national award for the chamber for Rowan County. And on behalf of the Dragon Boat Festival committee, we just wanted to thank you guys so much for your participation, for your involvement, and of course, for your support over the years. Thank you very, very much. So many things that we couldn't do without you guys giving us a nod. So thank you very much for it. And like the previous gentleman said, there are going to be vendors, sponsors, lots of food, tacos for those that like to eat tacos. They will be there too. And but thank you so much for everything that you have continued to do for the chamber. And if you don't mind, it's actually at hand, so she can hand out some flyers. It will be this Saturday, July 26th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
All right, anyone else have any questions? Yeah. All right, if not, then we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you very much. Shane, welcome.
This event is not quite as long going, but the Float the Goat annual event out here, Mr. Wetzel and his restaurant put on. Have another event that's requested here before the board, and we also have a second event. The first one is termed Float the Goat, and it will be, just to back up a little bit in case anybody forgot, it is a floating pontoon boat that's sort of stripped and becomes a stage where a band plays, again, for Float the Goat. That's the first event proposed near Goat Island on High Rock Lake, and it would be Saturday, August 9th. The 10th would be the rain delay. The second event would feature on that same floating stage a DJ that would play recorded music. This year they also have a food vendor that will be on the platform too, so your boaters can pull up and get them a hot dog or whatever is for sale. So Mr. Wetzel has been in conversation with Environmental Health, and it's a local food vendor that is licensed and permitted and whatnot. That event would be Saturday, August 16th, rain delay 17th. Both of these events between 12 p.m. 5 p.m. Sponsored by the Water's Edge Dock and Grill, is not associated with the High Rock Lake Summer Concert Series. So not to be a separate event altogether. If you look at the map here, you'll see the event location here, and Goat Island is the 7th annual event. To our knowledge, I think in the very beginning there might have been a little concern with noise, trash, but that went away after that first year. So every year after that, just like all these events, we ask the Sheriff's Department, anybody else involved, their feedback on the events. No concern with the Sheriff's Office. One boat will be available for sure, and possibly others. Miller Ferry has a boat. Wildlife also, usually, according to them, contact. It was referenced as neighboring counties, which I'm assuming has to be Davidson, but possibly Davie too. But they have access to boats as well, so it's fully secured for their proposed 500 events, or 500 attendees, and about 100 boats, I believe. So we do often in these criteria, I'll not go through all 10. You can read them, or if you have a question, I'll be glad to answer it. We do have one other event on that same date, on the 16th, at the Shrine Club, where the Dragon Boat Festival's from. On the 16th, the sheriff candidate has a small event there proposed, expecting 150 guests. That event will be smaller than Float the Goat. Mr. Wetzel can anticipate the number of guests, what that would look like. He's here if the board has questions. And staff mailed out 121 letters 22 days before today. So did not receive any emails or phone calls. Any questions?
Mikey, anything from you?
Well, sorry for the confusion. This is two separate events, and I ask that you guys consider them separately. If you say no to one, maybe consider the other. Float the Goat has been going around for 5 years. We've never really had any incidences. I did talk to Sergeant Strickland today, and he is putting a boat out there for Float the Goat. On the following one, my proposal is much simpler. The Float the Goat is a concert. If you have any more questions, I think you guys are all familiar with it from previous requests. The other one is new. I go out there, people say it'd be cool if somebody sold hot dogs. So it's really a hot dog is what started that event. So I have this floating stage that I built, and the idea, and I am friends with the guy who sells hot dogs down at Lowe's. Talked to the health department; they don't have an issue with it. He's already licensed. Rowan County business has its health permits. So we're like, why don't we just take your food cart, stick it on the hot dog on the floating thing, and float it out the Goat Island. There's really not anticipated that the hot dog event is going to draw that much of a crowd. It's just the kind of weekend crowd that's already out there. I'm going to put it online. If it gets approved, then hey, bring some cash to buy a hot dog. And then thought we'll just put like a shade. We'll put a DJ on there. That music won't be nearly as loud. It's not a concert, but it is amplified because it's speakers. So I'm asking for a noise permit for that. But that's really not really going to be any louder than just any one of the boats out there in the first place. So we got Float the Goat, which is every year, same kind of thing. And then we've got this new hot dog and DJ event. And I would like to do that every year, probably. People ask for it.
Mikey, what were the hours for the second event?
Okay, so the Float the Goat has always been 2 to 5, and that seems to work for people. The hot dog one, my plan is 12 to 3.
Okay.
Because that's lunchtime.
Any other questions for Mikey? They've had 2 concerts out there already this year. There's a third planned. They've been great. Folks love them. They come from all over, in the county, out of the county, off the water. They love them. So they've been real positive. No issues. Sheriff's out there, wildlife, Miller's Ferry. So they've been really good. It's great for the lake. All right, we'll have a public hearing. Anyone want to speak? Anyone have anything to say? All right, if not, we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, we have a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, well, thank you. All right.
Right. Good evening, everyone. We'll go through the financial report. So as of June 30th, we were up $11.4 million on expenditures over FY24, or 6.34%. I will note that, we are still closing the year out. This will go on until, the auditors are done and everything, so these numbers will change for June 30th. But this was as of June 30th on the day.
What do you attribute that expenditure increase on?
Well, some of it's the COLA, so cost of living, that increases for employees. Just general expenses going up in and of themselves, and then there was some projects in there that happened this year. But I can go back and look more
No, I just
specifically.
wanted to
But
see where it was
yeah,
coming
the auditors, when the auditors go through our expense report, they will send me like buckets of money, and they'll say, hey, why was this up X% over last year? And I have to explain all that to them. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So revenues are up 10.5 million, or 5.34% over FY24. And some of those increases you'll see on the next slide: property taxes, sales tax, interest is up 5.7 million from last year. And then we paid ourselves back for some of the school projects. So that was money we had expended and then got paid back for it, 3.7 million. So property taxes, this is through May. So we're up 3.3 million over FY24 for current year taxes, or 2.96%. think she just got the reports in this week, so I should know where we're at on that for June. And then sales tax, cumulatively, we are up 1.6 million or 5.35% over FY '24. And then, those are for March, so we still have a whole quarter to receive on sales tax. And then as of, just the month of March individually was up $260,000, so it's right here on this purple dot for, FY '25 for 6.72%. So, if you remember back, this year we were up so much because of the hold harmless that we got, the $2 million. Last year, that was only about $140,000, and this year so far, we haven't received anything for hold harmless, as far as that payback that they do when they look at the Medicaid number. So, I will check on that too to see if it's coming in a later month, or if, you know, they were trying to get us to where we should have leveled off on that anyway. Any questions on any of those specifically?
Danger, red flags?
No, I don't think, I think everything's looking good, so, I think we're, we're still watching that sales tax number to make sure that, and it's been trending better than expected, but still waiting to see what it does.
All right.
All right. Mm-hmm.
School shopping has to be done.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to board appointments. Airport Advisory Board, I'll group these together as usual. Airport Advisory Board, and Gina Thurston applied for reappointment as a business community seat member for a term that would expire June 30th, 2028. Cleveland Community Volunteer Fire Department Board of Trustees, Leanne Haglin and Matt Muncy, have applied for 2 of the county seats on that board. Phoenixville Volunteer Fire Department Commissioners, there are 3 seats open. Deborah Curry and Kevin Jones have applied for reappointment. Granite Quarry Zoning Board, ETJ, Ronald Jacobs has applied for the ETJ seat there. And Local Emergency Planning Committee Board, we received applications for associated seats on those boards, meaning they're set aside, one for Salisbury Fire Emergency Management, and that seat would be for Adrian Gant. The other for Rowan Hazmat Coordinator Stephen Carter. Union Volunteer Fire Department Fire Commissioners Eric Brady. There are 3 open seats on that Union Volunteer Fire Department. Eric Brady, Harold Allen Rouser, and Terry Craig Hessler. Do we have a motion to accept?
Mr. Chairman, we missed the Rowan Cabarrus Community College Board of Trustees.
Haven't yet. I'm gonna do that one separate.
Okay,
All right, do we have a motion to approve those?
so moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I did want to do separately, because these are all important seats, but have gotten a lot of contact from Rowan Cabarrus Community College about a very important seat, a reappointment for Jean Dixon, and we appreciate her service on that. And she came up and she said, well, can we get a picture of this? And we said, absolutely. So they have nominated Jean Dixon as reappointment to an at-large seat. And so do we have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
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 Who would like to join me out front, and let's get a picture with Miss Jean? Would that be okay? Y'all want to do that?
The question is, who does Ms. Jean want to come out?
All right, last item is one we added, which is request for discretionary funding. What this is many of you have heard us talk about we've been working with NCDOT and with the state, and even recently with federal government. I traveled up to DC not long ago, and we met with the Department of Transportation. Have applied for funding for a new interchange that would serve East Spencer and High Rock Lake. And these, if you've ever followed any interstate funding, these take a long time. And this one certainly has, and we continue to put pressure where we can. We recently found out that there is an MPO grant that is available. There's some dollars, discretionary dollars, within the Cabarrus-Rowan MPO where the members of the MPO board, I'm on that board along with the other elected officials across Rowan County and Cabarrus County, have discretion over how to spend that money, but we have to put an application in to do that. And so what would that grant be used for? It would be used to do pre-planning for this interchange. And so that grant has the requirement of an 80-20 match. So 80% would come from the MPO funds, 20% would have to be identified somehow. And so that 20% could come from anywhere. It could come from East Spencer, it could come from the county, it could come from the state. But recently we found out that there's a possibility that if that project goes away, if it doesn't get funded or doesn't get built, that those pre-planning dollars that are spent could be required to be clawed back. And I get that. If you do engineering and design work for a new interchange and then it ends up not getting built, then the state says, well, that's wasted money. And so we agree with that. We do have this, what this request for discretionary funding is. We met with Harry Warren, our representative, last week and discussed with him. Carl Ford was not able to make that meeting. He had something come up. But we have asked for Senator Ford and Representative Warren to look at the discretionary funds through the House and the Senate that they themselves have influence over to provide the 20%, which would be around $821,000. So this grant, it has a time frame on it. It has to be applied for. We have to do the applications, I think, by August 7th. Is that right? August 7th, August 8th?
August 7th, 5th, or 6th, or somewhere around there.
Yeah, so there are still some questions on this. We're working with East Spencer, working with the legislature, working with the MPO, working with the DOT. We had applied for a grant through the Federal Department of Transportation. I would have to check myself on that if it was through DOT, but it was called a build grant, federal grants. You're shaking your head. Do you know if that was DOT money? It's not? Okay. So this was the first time we applied for that. We went up and met with DOT. We had a good showing. We were well received. Folks that have been applying for that build grant have applied multiple times. That was our first time. And while we had a good application, we were not selected. East Spencer was selected for another portion of build grant, so that was good news. So it's up to us to apply again, and I'm certain that's what we'll do. This East Spencer interchange is important. It's important for High Rock Lake. It's important for East Spencer because it opens up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new acres for development for East Spencer that is landlocked. They don't have access to now, and helps transform that community. It's good for Rowan County because what's good for East Spencer is good for Rowan County. So, so we do have to do some more study on this. We wanted to bring this before the board tonight because we needed to send really a resolution, let the board know and the public know that we were asking Senator Carl Ford and Representative Harry Warren for some match money. And then it'll be up to me, frankly, to present it to the MPO in an upcoming meeting and ask the MPO to grant the design, build, money ahead of that. If we don't feel good about this, and if everyone comes together and decides that we don't want to apply for this, then this will be scrapped and we will not go through with it. But at this point, we have a time frame, so we wanted to get it in kind of just in case. So that's what the explanation of this is. And so that's what, any questions of me? Aaron, anything to add from your part? We've been working on this for 5 or 6 years, and so I'm hoping at some point it works out for East Spencer. All right, I make a motion that that we approve this memorandum. It reads, I won't read it all, it just says, as chairman of the Rowan County Board of Commissioners, I submit this discretionary funding request on behalf of the county for preliminary engineering on the proposed new interchange at Corral Street and McCandless Road on I-85. So I'll make a motion that we approve this memorandum.
Second.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, ayes have it, and so thank you for indulging this now. All right. The board is asked to enter into closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1 to consider approval of the minutes of the closed session that was held on June 2nd, 2025, as described by North Carolina General Statute 143-318.10E pursuant to 143-318.11A. 3, to consult with an attorney, and pursuant to 143-318-11A6 for personnel. Make that in form of a motion. We have a second? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we'll go into closed session, and as soon as we clear the room, we'll get started. Thank you for coming tonight. Y'all be safe. Have a good night. All right, we're back from closed session. Motion to come out of closed session. And a second. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, we've got a personnel item to take care of. We have done reviews for the county manager, and we're going to make some, we're up on his contract. So we're going to make some changes on the contract. Section 2. We're striking moving expenses. That doesn't apply because he's finally moved in. And secondly, there is future cost of living increases, longevity and merit increases. We're getting rid of those and replacing with a retention bonus schedule. Yeah, keeping cost of living, right. I'm sorry. Yeah. Right, so we're getting rid of longevity, merit increases, and adding a retention bonus. Currently, his salary is at $191,660. Yeah, I gave you my folder. And so we're moving that, new salary to 207. Talked myself into it, didn't I?
Yep.
Just let the record show, Aaron, I said 207. 205, and then adding, a new section 3 for retention bonus, which will, begin here in 2025. That'll begin at $11,000, which refers to his 11 years of service, so it's $1,000 a year. In 2026, retention bonus would be $12,000. 2027 would be 13. 2028 would be 14. 2029 would be 15,000. This new contract will extend another 5 years to July 22nd, 2030. Madam HR Director, does that cover everything? We need to vote? All right, any questions, Commissioner? Need to vote? All right, do we have a motion to approve that?
Motion. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Motion to adjourn.
you're right on it. All in favor say aye.